Welcome, learners. We are looking at the Gaussian elimination method. Okay, and as I said, we have divided into some parts. Now, in the last video, we have talked about the linear system of equations. Okay, now in this video, let's talk about the solution. Okay, now as we have seen in the first example of a linear equation, say ax plus by is equals to c, represents a straight line in xy plane. Okay, and if we have a system of two equations, two unknowns, for example, we have ax plus by is equals to c, and say dx plus ey is equals to f. So in this case, a, b, c, d, e, f all are constants, x and y are variables. Now, as we know, this equation represents a straight line. These equations also represent a straight line. That means we have two straight lines in xy plane. Okay, now how many ways? And the solution of this means that point where it intersects. Okay, where this line and this line intersect, that is the solution of this equation. Okay, now how many cases are there? Now if I draw xy plane, say, excuse, it's not straight lines as such. Okay, so suppose we have this xy plane. Now there are different cases. For example, we have this straight line like this. Suppose like this we have. Okay, we use another color. Suppose we have this straight line, one line. Let's say for example 1 and 2, we have this for 1. Equation of straight line. So this line represents this equation. And another equation we have, again it's a straight line. So there are different cases now. It may happen that this line also coincides on this line. Okay, so in that case we have infinitely many solutions. It may happen that this line is parallel to this line. That means it will never intersect. Okay, so first case, it overlaps. That means we have infinitely many solutions. Second, we have these two lines which are parallel. That means they will never intersect. That means we have no solution. And third, we can have that this line intersects. So since these are straight line, if they are intersecting, they will intersect only at one point. So suppose we have something like this. In that case, we have this point as the solution of this system. That means there are three cases. You may have a unique solution, that means only one solution. You may have no solution when they are parallel, and you may have infinitely many solutions when they are coinciding. That means whenever you have a system of equation, you may either have a unique solution, you may have a no solution, or you may have infinitely many solutions. Okay, so suppose somebody asks you if the system has 10 solutions, you can directly say this system cannot have 10 solutions, or this system cannot have 90 solutions. Okay, so if at all it has a solution, it has to be unique, or it has to be infinite, or it does not have any solution. Remember that. Okay, now as an exercise, what you can do is you can mark these lines, straight lines, on your xy plane and see what are the things. So for example, let me write the first equation. Say x plus y is equals to 3 and x minus y is equals to minus 1. We can draw these two straight lines in xy plane and see, and you can check the solution of it. Okay, the second equation I can give, say x plus y is equals to 3 and 2x plus 2y is equals to 6. You can again draw these two straight lines in xy plane. The points where it intersects is your solution, remember. And another, let me give x plus y is equals to 3 and x plus y is equals to 1. So again I have given three equations. In one equation we have infinitely many solutions, another equation you have finitely, this one unique solution, and then we have no solution. Okay, so we can put this in general. Also we can extend this for the planes or higher dimension. So let me write this. The number of number of solutions of a system of linear equations. Always remember, this is very important. Linear equations, very basic thing. Okay, so first, now again let me put one more point here. Let me put a point here. If system of linear equation has at least one solution, suppose at least one solution, that means either it is one solution or infinitely many solutions, remember that, but at least if it has one solution, then the system is said to be consistent. Consistent means it will have a solution. Consistent. Okay, first. Second, if system has no solution, if the system has no solution, then it is said to be inconsistent. Okay, so it will be either consistent or inconsistent. Here it cannot be both. Okay, so let me write the number of solutions as we have discussed in the two-dimensional cases. In three-dimensional cases, we can have intersecting planes. Okay, so first, the system has let me first put up a line for a system of linear equations, say in n variables, precisely one of the following is true, right? So first one, the system has exactly one solution, that is unique solution, exactly one solution, and if it has one solution, that means it's consistent. Second, the system has infinitely many solutions, that means again it is consistent, it has at least one solution. And third, the system has no solution, that means it is inconsistent, no solution. So again, remember, your system cannot have exactly two solutions. Okay, now if you want to solve the system, then let me just first put two equations here, so two systems, in fact, system of three equations, three unknowns. So let me first put this: x minus say 2y plus 3z equals to 9, minus x plus 3y equals to say minus 4, and say 2x minus 5y plus 5z is equals to 17. Suppose we have this system of three equations, three unknowns, and you need to find the solution of this. Of course, we have not seen any method till now, but if you see this system, you need to find the solution of this. Means you need to find the values of x, y, z. When you substitute in these three equations, you will get 9, -4 and 17. As compared to this system, if I write this system, say x minus 2y plus 3z equals to 9, say y plus 3z equals to 5 and z equals to 2. So if we have these two systems of three equations through three unknowns, and suppose we need to solve this by looking at this, which is the simple way or simple system to solve. Now in this case, if you see x is there, y is there, z is there, but in this case directly we get the value of z. So we have z is equals to 2. Okay, now since z equals to 2 and here we have y plus 3z equals to 5, that means y equals to 5 minus 3z, that means 5 minus 6. So we have y is equals to -1, that is 5 minus 6 minus 1. And here we already have the value of y and z. Substitute. Y is -1, so minus minus plus 2 plus 3 into 2, 6. So 2 plus 6 is 8. 9 minus 8 is 1. So x is equals to 1. Okay, so you can check, you put the values in this equations, you can check whether it's a solution. So z equals to 2, so 3 into 2, 6, y equals to -1, so -1 minus 2 plus 2, 6 plus 2, 8 plus 1, 9. Here y is equals to 2, so y is equals to -1, so -1 plus 3 into 2, 6, -1 plus 6 plus 5, and z is equals to 2. So as compared to this kind of system, this kind of system is very simple to solve. Okay, and the method what we have solved, the method what we have used till now is called back substitution. Okay, we use the back substitution, and there is a way to convert this kind of system into this kind of system. Okay, the system of three equations, three unknowns, this kind of system can be converted into this kind of system, and if we have this kind of system, we can easily solve and we can directly tell what is the solution of that system. Okay, so two system of linear equations is said to be equivalent if they have precisely the same set of solutions. Okay, and there are some operations which will, when you operate on the system of equations, that will not change the solution set. For example, if we interchange, suppose we write this as equation number 1, this as equation number 2, and this as equation number 3. Okay, now what happens if I write the equation number 2 as equation number 3? What if you interchange? If you interchange, again that won't affect, we'll have the same system, right? You are just writing second equation as third equation and third equation as second equation. Still again you will get the same equation, same solution. Okay, so that's the first operation, interchange of two equations. And if you relate this to our row echelon forms, row operations, elementary row operations, we said the first row operation say interchange of two rows. Okay, so interchanging of any two equations is not changing the solution set. Again, if you multiply this equation by say 5, you can multiply 5 here, multiply 5 here, still you have the same system because you are balancing it. You can cancel that 5. So multiplying any equation by a non-zero constant, again I repeat, it should be non-zero constant. So multiplying an equation by a non-zero constant will not affect the solution set. And again, as the third operation, you multiply some non-zero constant here, you add it to the any other row, again you will have the same equation. And these are precisely our row operations. So what we do is we write this system into a matrix form, say A x is equals to b. This is our coefficient matrix A. We convert this system, this matrix, into row form, row echelon form or echelon form, and then we write this system in terms of this system. Okay, and to operate this, to perform these operations, we use something called as augmented matrix. And to get that augmented matrix, we get this coefficient matrix A we get this constant matrix B, and we put that in a matrix like this. Okay, so we take this constant matrix B and put it at the last column. So this is our augmented matrix. We convert this matrix into echelon form, and then again we convert that matrix equation into system of equations like this, and then we solve it. This method is called Gaussian elimination method. Okay, if you go one more step further, and if you convert this matrix in terms of row echelon form, reduced row echelon form, and again get back over here, then that procedure is called Gauss-Jordan elimination method. Okay, so again, as we know, the system may have unique solution, you may have infinitely many solution, or you may have no solution. Okay, so in the next videos we will talk about Gauss elimination method directly, wherein we will have these three cases separately, and then I will give some exercise for you to solve. Okay, so see you in the next video.